Hi, this is Mitch Mitchell of TT Mitchell Consulting. I'm going to tell you a little story. Many years ago, when I was still an everyday director, a phone call came in to one of the people who worked for me. And she did what she could, but she just couldn't answer the question. And she came to me for help, and she said, the guy just keeps yelling at me. So I said, okay, pass it in to me. So I get the guy on the phone, and he starts off screaming and cussing, and I hung up on him. And a few minutes later, he called again and he started screaming and cussing again, and I hung up on him again. The third time he called, he opened with, "Are you going to hang up on me again?" And I said, "Not if you stop cussing and screaming at me." So he says, "Okay, I promise not to do that." So at that point, he explained his issue to me because I didn't even know who he was. I looked it up. I saw what the issue was. I fixed his problem then and there, and I told him when he was going to get whatever he needed to get from us, because at the time, right now I can't remember if I was going to send him a letter or if I was going to send him confirmation that, what he needed done was done. But I took care of it right then and there. And he apologized. He said, "That's it? It's already taken care of?" I said, "Yeah, pretty much, yeah." And he apologized for going off on the handle and saying all the stuff he said. I said, "No problem. And I'm glad that we could take care of your issue." This proved two things. One, you can disconnect somebody from screaming and ranting and doing all this stuff by an action. No one ever has to take abuse from a client or a customer or whomever. There's this statement out there that says the customer is always right. Well, no, that's not even close to true. The customer is always the customer, but they're not always right. And every once in a while, you have to treat them, well, like they need to be treated. We teach people how to treat us. And if people are always screaming and you accept it, then they're always going to do that. And word gets out, and next thing you know, you've got a lot of screaming people. But if you teach people to treat you with respect or to show a little bit of little dignity or whatever, they will usually, come back and they will be fine with it. And the thing is, it's quite possible it could have gone the wrong way and this guy could have taken all kind of insult and come to the hospital. I wasn't necessarily worried about that. And I'm sure, in some cases, some people have to worry about that kind of thing. But I didn't think I had that issue. Matter of fact, I knew I didn't have that issue. But this is one of the things I talked about in a previous video where I gave some tips on communications. You have to sometimes have that disconnect. But that's not all. The other side of the thing is that you have to know how to take care of someone's problem. It doesn't mean you have to always know the answer right then and there, but you have to know how to take care of someone's problem. You have to let them know, you know what, I'm going to need to research this. Let me research this and I'll call you back by whenever, and then you call them back by that time, if not sooner. Or you say, look, I've taken care of this. I've done whatever. Here's my direct line. And if you have any more trouble with this, you get back to me. You have to be able to take care of someone. If you can't do it, you have to know who to go to. And you have to be personally responsible for taking care of that. One of the problems that a lot of people have when they call and they have an issue with something is they say, well, geez, let me put you on hold. And then they put them on hold for sometimes 30 minutes or so, which all it does is just serves to make people even more mad. Or they come back and they give you some garbage that someone has told them that means nothing. And if you tell people garbage, you're going to get even a worse reaction than if you ignore them, because people know when they're being told garbage. At least I always do. And so, you have to be willing to go that extra step. Even if that extra step just says, you know what, I'm sorry, I really don't know the answer to this. Let me get a supervisor over here to talk to you. And then you get that supervisor. I hate having to ask for a supervisor when the person I'm talking to isn't giving me what I need. So you have to be able to know to do that kind of thing. And if you happen to be the supervisor, you have to be the one that says, you know what, I'm going to take personal charge of this person and I'm going to fix their issue. Now, who doesn't agree with me? I know there's some people who are leaders who are going to say, I don't have that kind of time, but think of yourself as the customer. I'm not the only person who has ever had an issue with a customer service person. So think about your issue. When you've been mad enough and you haven't gotten the satisfaction, haven't you wished that they had just kicked it up to a supervisor or a director or someone who can actually fix your issue? You know you have. So, why would you expect something from someone else that you're not willing to do for your own business? Anyway, that's today's leadership tip. Mitch Mitchell. Notice no hat, because I have hair. I may not have tons and tons of hair like most people, but when I've had short haircuts before, this is indicative of how much hair I will have when I have those short haircuts. I'm a lot happier guy now. And it's the first day of summer. So I hope everyone has had a great day. And I hope if you have any comments or questions on this, you'll let me know down below. And please, please give me a thumbs up. Y'all take care.